Greetings and welcome back to the lesson. Today we continue with the subject governance and compliance audit. So far we've done under this chapter, we've learned how to determine the objectives, the scope of the audit. In our last session we covered levels of assurance. In this lesson, in the planning of a governance and compliance audit, we are going to study the subject matter and criteria. How do you identify the subject matter and criteria? Because these two elements are fundamental. That is, the subject matter and criteria are fundamental because they provide the framework for all subsequent audit activities, including evidence gathering, testing, and reporting. So these are two things: identifying subject matter and criteria. So begin by looking at the subject matter. And the subject matter is the what of the audit. What is being audited? We are referring to as the subject matter. And it refers to the specific information, condition, or activity that is being measured or examined or evaluated. It is the core element of the organization that the audit team is examining. Alright? It could be the governance framework, that could be the core element that's being examined. It could be specific business process or a system or technology. The audit team could also be examining the internal controls. It could be examining the specific report or statement. That would be the subject matter, what is being examined. You understand? So the subject matter must be identifiable and capable of consistent evaluation. So that is the subject matter. Subject matter. If you are to carry out governance and compliance audit, then you have to examine something. That something is what we are referring to as the subject matter. I'll give an example. It could be the governance framework. One, subject matter could be the governance framework. Now, governance framework is a broad subject matter. And here the audit team may examine the entire system of board oversight, risk management, internal controls, ethical culture, and so on. That is an example of a subject matter, the governance framework. The second example is compliance program. Compliance program. That's another example of a subject matter. This is a specific compliance program, such as the company's data privacy program, anti-money laundering program, anti-bribery program. It could be any program that the organization is required to comply. So the auditors may come in to examine if the company is complying with such regulations and laws. That could be the subject matter. Number 3 is specific business process. Specific business process. When conducting a governance and compliance audit, the auditors may also examine a specific business process, like key operational process, the procurement process, customer complaint handling process, employee onboarding process. It could be any process within the organization. So that can also be a subject matter. The fourth subject matter example is a system or technology. System or technology can also be examined. System or technology. It could be a specific IT system such as the financial reporting system. It could be a system like the customer relation management database or access control system and so on. Specific report or statement. That can also be a subject matter. A company sustainability report, it could be a regulatory filing or corporate governance statement. Understand? Yes. So these are examples of subject matter. And to effectively identify the subject matter, the audit team must have a deep understanding of the entity and that is being examined and its environment. The audit team must also have a deep understanding of the strategic goals of the company and the risks that the company faces. And this is often done through preliminary research, interviews with key personnel, and also review of organizational charts and process documentation. So that is how to identify subject matter. Then we have criteria, which is also an important aspect of auditing. Criteria. Now, the criteria are the against what of the audit. If you are to carry out an audit of this subject matter, it has to be against something. You are comparing what is happening on the ground with a standard. There has to be a criteria or a standard. It is the standards or the benchmarks or the rules or the expectations that are used to evaluate the subject matter. There has to be a standard. And the criteria must be reliable, must be relevant, objective, and understandable. Examples of criteria could be laws and regulations. Laws and regulations. If you are to carry out compliance program, for example, audit of a compliance program, you have to have a criteria which could be laws and regulations. This is the most common criterion for compliance audit. For example, the criteria for data privacy audit would be the specific articles and requirements of the Data Protection Act or other applicable protection laws. Industry standards is another example. Industry standards. Different industries have different standards and best practices. So if you are to evaluate an observation, that evaluation must be based on a standard which could be industry standard or best practices. And this could include a framework or standards like the ISO 27001, which is the Information Security Management. It could be COSO for internal controls and so on. 3. Internal policies. This is also a criteria. Organizations operate in an environment where they have their own policies and procedures. So an organization's own documented procedures or policies are a key source of criteria. For example, we may have a travel expense policy or an IT user access policy. It could even just be a code of conduct. So the auditors may come in to check if the organization is adhering to its own policies and procedures. That is a criteria, a standard. Right? You can go on and mention criteria like contractual obligations, contractual obligations. Contractual obligations. These are the terms and conditions of a contract, such as a vendor agreement or service level agreement, which can serve as a criteria when companies enter into contracts with the vendors or third parties, the auditors may come in to check if both parties are working out or are ensuring that the obligations under the contracts are being fulfilled. Ethical codes. Number 5. Ethical codes. Ethical codes and corporate bylaws. Ethical codes and corporate bylaws. Now, the company's own ethical code of conduct, or even its bylaws, can also be used as audit governance parameters. Then we can lastly mention the management objectives and goals. Management objectives and management goals can also be an example of a criteria. Now, the audit may evaluate whether a specific program or process is meeting its stated objectives as defined by management. So these are examples of criteria which we defined as the benchmark against which an examination or an audit is conducted. You understand, candidates? Is that clear? Are we clear on that? Yes. We have defined subject matter in this lesson, given examples, governance framework, compliance program, specific business process, system or technology, specific report or statement. This can be the subject matter or what is being audited. What is being audited or examined must have criteria, standards or benchmarks. These are laws and regulations, industry standards and best practices, internal policies and procedures, contractual obligations, ethical codes and corporate bylaws. We have also management objectives and goals. You understand? Yes. Now, the subject matter and criteria, candidates, you can see, are intertwined. They are interlinked. Alright? The audit team evaluates the subject matter's conformance with the criteria. The audit team evaluates the subject matter's conformance. The audit team examines whether the subject matter is conforming to the criteria. There is a standard. There are laws which must be obeyed. There are standards which must be followed. We have internal policies must be followed. So, for the auditor to know whether the criteria is being adhered to, then the subject matter must be examined. For the companies, there is a close relationship. You cannot have an audit without having the subject matter, what is being audited, and the criteria. The auditor must have a standard upon which he carries out his or her examination. And that is all for our today's lesson on identifying subject matter and criteria. Bye-bye.